Hola mi gente! Good morning. Well, it's almost afternoon. Today is a really big day in this pregnancy because today is my glucose tolerance test. I am now 28 weeks. Look at it, baby. Let me show you my bare belly. You guys have never seen my bare belly yet. That's my bare belly. So 28 weeks now. And what is a glucose tolerance test? Okay, so what I found out is when you're pregnant, you end up creating a lot of hormones in your body, like progesterone and estrogen, and those hormones can sometimes block insulin from working, or like something about insulin and something about sugar getting into your cells. Like it blocks sugar from going into your cells. And when that happens, sugar lives in your blood instead of going into your cells. So then that's how you get high blood sugar. And that is called diabetes. Like between 24 weeks and 28 weeks is when women tend to do this glucose tolerance test. And the way that they generally do it is you go to the doctor's office and they give you this disgusting bright orange drink, and you have to drink this drink, and then within the hour or something like that, they draw your blood and they see, is there a lot of sugar in your blood? This drink, the reason why it's so disgusting is like super sugary. They're pretty much pumping you up with a lot of sugar to see like how does your body react? Is your insulin working properly or whatever? And if it isn't, then your blood is gonna have a lot of sugar in it. But if it is working properly, then your sugar levels will be fine. So that's what I'm doing today. Since I recently switched over to a birth center, I'm no longer seeing an MD, like OBGYN or whatever. I'm now seeing a midwife, and at this particular birth center, they do this glucose tolerance test with this thing. So it's not a disgusting orange drink. It is this powder that is non-GMO, gluten-free, no additives. So it's like more like natural, I guess. And I get to do this on my own. Like I prepare it by myself. So I got my 10 ounces of water here. I'm gonna stir this in, and then here's like the instructions. Today's December 6th. So it says, mix it with 10 ounces of water, drink within 5 minutes. I have to finish at the 11:30 mark. It's currently 11:11, make a wish. And I have to mark what time I finish. So I gotta do all this real quick. And we got the hubby here. You want to film me, hubby?
Sure.
I like how you were just waiting for me to stop talking.
I didn't want to interrupt. It's not very important.
Thanks. I know I'm trying to do this like as fast as I can so then we can make it out there on time because the appointment's at 12. Okay, here you go. I'm so out of breath now. Being so pregnant. Look at this. I'm so pregnant.
Beautiful.
It's awesome. I love it. I'm loving every minute of this pregnancy. Going by so fast too. I remember with Isaac, I'm like, I'm gonna be pregnant forever. It felt forever. Hold on. Helen texted me, don't look at this. This is private information. It's like, drink it immediately. Like they make it a big deal. Start. The lady at the birth center told me too that this drink tastes a lot better.
What does it smell like?
Nothing. There's no smell.
Smells kind of earthy.
I don't smell anything.
Really?
Okay. Oh my god, this is significantly better. Wow. How come doctors don't do this instead? This is really good.
It's like Gatorade?
No, not even. It doesn't taste overly sugary.
Not fair, I want some.
Sorry, it's on my It tastes like a freshly squeezed fruit juice. If you can get this, get this. Pregnant ladies out there.
I want to be a pregnant lady and try it.
Get this one.
It's not fair.
Tell your doctor, chug that orange drink down the drain. It's disgusting. It's so gross. This is really good. Baby, you're gonna enjoy it. A couple hours. I read that it takes 2 hours for them to taste what I'm eating. 11:18.
Nice.
Did it! Now let's go to our final appointment at this birth center because they notified me that they're closing in next week. Next week they're shutting down. Can you guys believe this? I switched over from my doctor to this birth center and then they tell me, oops, guess what? We're actually going out of business next week. I'm like, What are the odds of this happening? This is crazy. So now I'm in the process of transferring over to a different birth center. But this other birth center though, I'm actually, like this whole thing could be a blessing in disguise because there is a good chance that I might be giving birth at the birth center there. So the current one that is closing, they didn't let me birth there because I'm having a VBAC, which is a vaginal birth after cesarean. So they were gonna make me give birth at a hospital, which I really didn't want to do. But it was gonna be with midwife care. But with this new birth center, they're like, oh, don't trip, we do VBACs here. You don't have to go to a hospital. So I'm like, oh, okay. This Sunday is when I'm gonna be doing a Zoom session and finding out more. And so this whole baby stuff is crazy. Like, this is wild. Like, what? The birth centers just closed? Who does that? That's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna go change so we can leave.
Alright, so while Tiff is getting ready to go to the birthing center today, I just want to give a huge shout out to Anchor for sponsoring today's video. Anchor makes really cool portable chargers for your phone, and recently I've been using their MagGo magnetic battery charger. It's the easiest portable charger I've ever used in my life. Super easy to use. All you have to do is just click it, make sure it's aligned, and it's charging your phone. The best thing about this is that there's no need for a charging cable. Anchor calls it the first adaptive magnetic charging experience designed for any lifestyle because all you have to do is snap, charge, and go. And this thing is actually really, really thin. It can fit into my pocket. How cool is that? It's so thin you can single-handedly take calls, use your camera on your phone, basically use the phone in whatever way you want while the MagGo is attached. Also, if you're worried about the magnets falling off, the magnets are actually very, very strong and it won't fall off. So click on the link in the description down below and get your own MagGo magnetic charger. All right, time to head to the birth center. Taking this bad boy. I'm gonna check up on the baby. All right, so we are now on the way to the out of business birth center now.
You know what's crazy? This birth center I found when we first wanted to start getting pregnant. I think when we got married. So 5 years ago.
Wow.
About 5 years ago.
We had planned to get pregnant soon after getting married. Yeah. That was 5 years ago.
No, we didn't plan to get, no, it's just that I was already planning. Because we had always said we wanted to be married for 1 year before we started trying to get pregnant.
That was the plan.
Yeah, and that was 2017 to like 2018 is when we were like supposed to like start trying or whatever, which is when we kind of did. The point is that this birth center I found around the time that we got married, and I've been wanting to come here since that time, and now they're going out of business. Like, what?
The universe is like, you had 5 years to get your business done. It does make me feel a little bit worried that a birthing center can just close on you like that.
No.
But I guess the good thing though is the glass half full way of looking at it is that it could have happened closer to our due date.
Yeah.
And that would have been really stressful. The fact that we're still a good 2 months out, 3 months actually.
Yeah.
It's enough time to reestablish our relationship with the new birthing center. But yeah. Baby's healthy. I'm actually getting way more excited about the birth now. Feeling the baby kick more now. I feel like I'm able to assess the personality of the baby to some degree now with how the baby kicks and how often they kick. Just like the baby's not moving right now, then I'll like speak into the belly, and then literally 5 seconds later the baby starts moving. So yeah, I guess it is responding. Yeah. So because of that, I feel closer to this baby to be. I guess it is a baby right now, huh? Would you consider it a baby? Is it a fetus right now?
Fetus.
And then it's a baby once it's born?
I don't know.
Well, at what point does it become the baby?
I don't know. That's a good question.
But I guess we are calling it the baby, even at the providers. They're like,
True.
Oh, baby will need this and all that. So it is a baby. Okay, fine.
Or like, are you actually looking forward to the birth? Because we've been taking birth classes recently, and you've actually gotten educated in the entire, and me too, like fully educated in the entire process, the physiological process that my body's going to be going through to bring our baby to this world. Like, it's just wild. So like, I don't know, I want to know your thoughts on what have you been learning, like what have you been looking forward to, because it's a new experience, even for me, because I've never given birth like vaginally, and learning about how my body would do all this is like completely new. So I feel like I'm a first time mom, honestly. I didn't learn any of this when I was pregnant with Isaac.
So Tiff and I have been taking this birthing course, online birthing course. We're learning all about the misconceptions of birth and like all like what's happening physiologically to the female body. So like the idea is pain is derived from fear, and the fear is derived from anxiety, right? And so if you're going into the process anxious and scared, you're gonna have a lot of fear, and that fear is gonna manifest itself in the pain. And so like there's a way to kind of
like creating tension in your body.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna have negative emotions, you're gonna have pain. You're gonna experience negative reactions in your body. So yeah, like learning about all that, it's definitely given me a lot of confidence. I was already, even before learning about this stuff in class, I was already pretty confident that I could manage the pain in birth because of, I don't know, because I'm weird. Like I feel like I just have like a pretty strong mental strength, I guess, for pain, or I don't know what to call it. But the point is, I've always been really looking forward to birth, but then now taking this class and like learning about how the fact that endorphins release when you're happy and grateful, and endorphins are actually pain blockers, I'm like, oh my god, this just makes it even more exciting. Like I'm more looking forward to giving birth and experiencing this euphoria of like the birth high, and like having a physiological unmanaged birth, and just having like no interruptions, like no pain management, just having myself and my own brain and my body, and like just trusting my body. Like I'm so excited for birth because of that reason.
I don't know, the way it's explained to me, like the way I'm like grasping all this information, it's like this is the moment you're gonna become a superhero, and this is the moment where your superpowers are born. You know, this is like the Peter Parker gets bit by a spider, Tiff is gonna give birth to our child. You know, and this is like the beginning of something amazing.
Yeah, and it's not to say like, because everything you're saying, like someone can easily think of like, well, she has been a mom already, you know, even though I had a C-section, like doesn't make me any less of a mom. And I agree, fully agree. It's just that what we're learning right now about the process of like the baby actually going through the birth canal, and like the hormones that get released, those get inhibited with a C-section through surgery too. And there's a lot of things that like I didn't get to experience because of the fact that I had a C-section, but it doesn't mean that I didn't become a super mom in a different way or whatever. Like
found it through other means.
Yeah, so it definitely still tapped into all that. You know, like C-section moms are still mamas, like, you know, the full thing.
I feel ready. I think if it were to happen right now, it'd be great because we're going to a birthing center. But no, like if we're.
Oh my god, what do you mean happen right now? It's 28 weeks.
Baby's not ready, but I'm ready. I think as a parent, I'm ready to go. Yeah, like I know when things hit code red, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be my rock.
Oh, I am.
You're gonna have to be my protector of my space.
I already know it. We don't want cord traction. We want delayed cord clamping, two-step birthing.
Don't rub off the vernix.
Keep that vernix on. We like the vernix.
People that don't know what we're talking about, like, what in the world are these terms? That's what you're gonna have to learn when you have a baby.
Girl or boy?
We don't know.
Oh. Baby's there and just trying to get like a clearer sound. Right now it sounds like the whooshing.
Yeah.
A background sound. You're running away from me. 135. Perfect. Wipe your belly. There we go.
All right, just finished up. It was weird being there because a lot of the workers like
Kind of somber.
very somber vibes.
Apparently, like, they didn't even know that they were gonna. It's like a sudden closure. Like, they didn't even know that they were gonna be closing down in 2 weeks. Like, it's just out of nowhere, just everyone got smacked with it. They're just like hopeful that someone will buy it and maybe
continue.
they can like reopen at some point. I don't know, but I'm like, what in the world are the odds of this happening? Like, it's such an it's not a common thing for you to have your provider just go out of business. Like, what?
It could be worse, you know? Like, we could be about to go into labor. We could be, you know, their due date could be a week from now.
Yeah.
You know, and like people like in that scenario, I feel for them. It's such a big moment in your life, and to have like the chair be, like the rug ripped from underneath you, it's like, dang.
Chair works too. Chair pulls right from underneath you.
Yeah, I like rug.
Rug works too.
Rug works better. 'Cause I feel like when you fall, when a rug is ripped from underneath you, you fall.
Oh yeah.
You know, because you're on your feet. Where if a chair is ripped from underneath you, you kind of just fall on your butt, so it's not so bad. I don't know. It's so technical with that. With I don't know why.
You're so funny.
But yeah, anyway, so that's that. That's the last time we're gonna go to that provider, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we can transfer over to a new place soon and continue, and hopefully we can do the VBAC thing as well.
Like, hopefully we can give birth at the birth center.
Yes,
We
exactly.
weren't able to do that here, and hopefully this next one, they accept us and they let us birth there. I am like so crossing my fingers. I'm like, please, 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 please. For me personally, my next option after like trying with this birth center, I'm gonna try with a different birth center because there's like two options. If they don't, both are like nah, then my next option after that is trying to get a midwife to do a home birth. Then last resort, like ultimate last resort, is going to a hospital for me. Like for me personally. 'Cause I'm
Last
like,
resort.
I don't want to birth at a hospital.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, I'm not even the one going through the birth thing directly. It's not my body that's going through all that stuff, but like I can tell, yeah, the hospitals, their agenda is get you in and out as fast as possible. Like I can already feel that just from the few times we visited the hospital that we were with. Yeah.
But listen, because like I remember when we were talking about leaving the hospital, go to a midwife, there was a comment that someone was like, don't be shitting on hospital workers pretty much, but I'm like, I'm not shitting on hospital workers. If anything, I'm shitting on the procedures of the hospital. And
Which is not the hospital workers'
Yeah, it's
fault.
not the hospital workers' fault at all. It's the policies and the procedures and the way that the culture and the whole system does not respect physiological birth. The natural progression of birth. Like, we're animals. We're supposed to be like in a dark, quiet, safe space, and hospitals are the complete opposite of that. So I'm not shitting on the workers.
Yeah.
I'm shitting on the policies and the procedures and the culture. And then also, if you look into this Ricky Lake's documentary, The Business of Being Born, that documentary like freaking mind blew me, and that's what convinced me I never want to give birth at a hospital. You look statistically, like you look at the stats, the US being a first world country, we have a crazy amount of infant deaths and maternal deaths during birth, like during labor, because of so many interventions that are unnecessary that happen in the hospital. It just leads to more complications and leads to death. And like, it's crazy. Like, how are we in the US and we have babies and moms dying giving birth at hospitals? Like, it's crazy. Not that it doesn't happen outside of a hospital. Things happen. Whatever. I'm passionate about this subject.
You are very passionate about it. Yeah, and another thing I learned about childbirthing, why all this stuff makes sense to me too, is you gotta think of it like a sphincter. Let's talk about sphincters real quick.
What about sphincters?
So the uterus is a sphincter in and of itself. The vagina is a sphincter in and of itself. What else is a sphincter? Well, the anus is a sphincter. And when you go poop, you don't particularly like being rushed when you go poop, right? When you're rushed, then you have to push. And when you push, you might end up getting a hemorrhoid, get more constipated. You know, like it's actually not very healthy to push that much.
Because pooping is a physiological process, just like birth.
Mm-hmm.
And eating and digesting.
And as someone that poops a lot, you know, since I've been born, I can relate. I don't want to be rushed when I poop. And my sphincter in my butt is not going to want to be forced to be open, right? And so I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And so if the uterus, so it's a double sphincter though, the uterus and the vagina, they're not going to want to open up when you want it to open up, and you're not going to want to push and force it all that much. And so, and the idea of being
tearing happens.
So what?
That's how tearing happens too in labor.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
purple
true.
pushing, and then like, oh, it's just
I guess we're like subscribing to a whole new philosophy on childbirthing. I am, at least. Like, this is all like relatively new information for me, but I mean, it makes sense. I'm ready to fight anyone that's gonna try and do the cord traction thing or the
one-step birth process.
Yeah, they're gonna do the one step and yank on my baby's head, and I don't want that. I'm gonna punch someone there. Yeah.
That's funny.
Ready.